Welcome to bestbusinessconnections.com OBS Studio series. This is session 1 and I am your host, Christine Ely. First thing we're going to do is add our webcam, and for most of you, you're going to want to have a green screen behind you, and this can be as simple as a green sheet. You'll then be able to put your own background on. Now, of course, you can use OBS Studio just as you can just be in your office, you can have a bookcase behind you, whatever. But I'm going to show you how all of this works so that you have the choice. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do is add our webcam. And to do that, you'll see we've got this box here, which is sources, and this is where we're going to put all of our resources. These could be images, these could be videos, they can be links to live streams, to web pages, to anything that you want, including, you know, windows on your own computer. It could be your Skype window. You could actually automatically bring in Skype and then be talking to somebody on Skype, and it'll all be recorded on OBS Studio. So the first thing is the webcam, and to do that, now these windows you can actually move around, so if you want to move them, you want it floating, you can do that. It'll make room for it. Video capture device. Now let's give it a name, so let's just call it Logitech webcam. Click on OK. And you'll see it's automatically found my Logitech Brio. Now you can see me and the green screen behind me. I'm going to click on OK. Now you'll see it by default it just puts me into the top left hand corner, but every object in OBS Studio is resizable and movable around the screen. So you can see we can drag it. You've got the grab handles on the side, we can resize, and we can do pretty much whatever we like with it. So I'm just going to put this in the center, and the first thing we want to do is now take out the green screen. To do that, we add a filter. You know, a 2-button mouse, you're just going to right mouse click and then click on filters. You can see here we have effects filters, and I'm going to click on add, and we're going to choose Chroma Key, and we'll leave the name Chroma Key. And you see straight away it's just taken the filter out. And you can see if you had a blue screen, you would be able to select blue, magenta, whatever you have behind you, so that it knows what to take out. And we have various controls to improve the quality of the image, which we'll come back to later on. Now you can see we have the window now, and now it's just a black background. Now let's put in a background image. Now the background can be anything. It can be an image, it can be a video, it can be whatever you want to be sitting behind you, and during a recording session you can change that. So you could be, at one point you could have your studio behind you, and then you could say, okay, I'm going to scroll through a web page, or I'm going to change it to a video. So for now I'm going to add an image. Again, come down to sources, click on the plus sign, and click on image. Now let's call this my open plan office. And now we're going to browse to where we've got our various images. I'm going to just select my open plan 6. And you'll see it's automatically put it in front of my webcam image. Now the sources are a hierarchy. The higher up on the, just like on video editing, the higher up they are, the more to the front they're going to be of your layers on your recording. So I want my open plan office to be behind my webcam. So I just drag that down, and you can see now it's brought me to the front. Now I want to move myself, and I want to resize my webcam image. So to do that, we just select that particular object. You'll see we've got the grab handles come up, and then we can just move this to where we want it to go, and we can resize it down so that the topic is going to be more to do with the subject we're talking about than me. Now I could move myself, and I could, if we're going to have the TV over here, I'd probably want to put myself over here. Next thing we can do, we want to put various objects or resources into the sources box so that we can use them while we're making our video. Now you can see also, before we do that, you can see that the box I'm in, it's got quite a lot of space above the top of my head. So we might want to just crop that down. To do that, we're just going to go back in and right mouse click, and you'll see we now have another option called transform. If I click on edit transform, you'll see we have these crop facilities at the bottom. So I might want to just take, say, 100 pixels off the top of the webcam image, and you can see it has now taken the top off. Now I can do the same with sides. I could say take 20 off the left and 20 off the right. Now let's add a couple more resources. Okay, I'm going to go to a media source, boating. I'll just call it boating, and click on OK. So here we are. We have our boating video, boating on Canyon Lake. Let's just pull that one in. And you'll see we have various options here. We can have, we can check on loop, in which case when we put the video on, it will just keep on looping until we close it. If we don't put that on there, when we activate the video, it will play the video and then it'll just take the video out. So click on OK. And you can see now we have our video up here. And again, just like every other object, you can see you've got the resize, the grab handles, so we can move this around and we can resize it. So I might want to just resize it so that it fits onto the TV screen. And again, this is where if it didn't fit exactly, that's where you could use the crop facilities to crop it to be exactly the right size. You can see as I click on the eye, it will switch the video on. As I close the eye, it takes the video off. So I'm going to click on media source. This time I'm going to call this one motor racing. Okay, and here we've got GT40 Silverstone. Click on OK, and here we have the video playing. Exactly the same again. We can put this on the TV screen and switch it off. So now we have the facility where we can pull in a video, whichever one we want. So while we're talking about the video we're making, we can pull in our resources. I can add a video of boating, I can talk about boating, I can then click on the video of motor racing and I can talk about motor racing. We can also put these full screen, or I could make them full screen and put them behind me. So for example, if I now took this video and moved it down behind the webcam and then just dragged it out, you can see now we can be talking about this and we can have the full screen. Now you'll note we've got down here on the various controls, we've got an item called Studio Mode. And what this does, it allows you to make changes on the preview screen. We can move stuff around on the preview screen, and it's not going to go onto the proper recording screen. And you can see you click on transition and then it moves it across to the main screen. I'll switch this off for now. We'll add a browser window. So to do that, we go to Add and Browser, and let's call it Chrome. Okay, so here we can put in the URL of the page we want, and we can set the screen size. So let's say we'll just keep it 800 by 600, and you'll see we can add CSS, custom CSS code if we wanted to change the background color and so on. I'm going to take this out for now because we just want the regular web page. And you can see now we have the web page. We can move this around. Right now though, you can see there's one slight issue, is although we can see the web page and we can do exactly the same as we did before with the image, we can move it forward, back and so on, but we're not able to interact with this right now, and we may want to interact. So to do this, we can right mouse click on the browser and we can click on interact. That will open up another window where you can start interacting. Now I'm going to move this along to my second screen. If you've got a second screen, you can now interact with it on your second screen, or you can do it in front of you. It will automatically update your recording, and that way then you can click on various buttons and make the whole thing work the way you want it. Now you'll see on our controls we have the option to start streaming. OBS Studio allows you to stream directly to YouTube, to Facebook, and so on. On this particular session, we're only going to be using it for recording. So when you want to start your video, you just click on Start Recording, and then you can play through the whole scenario. You can pull in your sources, you can play video, you can go full screen, you can change the order of the sources, the objects in your sources box, so that they can actually come in and they can be layered. And that is pretty much how it all works. Now, a couple of notes. You'll notice when we're playing a video, by default, OBS Studio will not play sound while you're recording, although the recording will incorporate the sound. Now, if you want to hear it as it's playing, you can do that by going to the audio mixer, and then you'll see we've got boating here. I can go down here and go to Advanced Audio Properties and Boating, and basically what we do is we just set it to monitor and output. You can brand your video as you're going along, just as we've done with images to have backgrounds. We could pull in our logo and we could add that. We can also do all of this post-recording with OBS Studio, because you can then take the video that this is going to record and then bring that into your video editing software. A note on saving: when you do record, you want to know where it's going to record to, and to do that we're just going to go to the File menu, go to Settings, Output. You'll notice we've got on recording path, and we can browse to our recording path. I've got this as Best Business OBS Studio, so that when you do record, you know where the recording is going to go. One final item is that obviously we can add our logos, we can brand our videos, and we can do that directly within OBS Studio, or we can do it post, once we've made the video and we've saved it to our folder. If we want to just add it at this point, we can just add it as another image, and we go back to our sources. We'll go to Image, and we'll call this Best Business Connections logo. Click on OK. Let's browse to our folder and pick up our logo. Click on OK. You'll see that has placed it in the top left hand corner. We can just move this, we can resize it, and so on. So we can always have our brand on screen while we're making our videos. I hope you enjoyed that session. If you did, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, and also visit bestbusinessconnections.com, where you can join our social and business network. It's free, and you get access to exclusive content and many other perks. See you next session.